half-time. So it's very much as you were here, 0-0. Both Carlos Bilardo and Guites with enough, one would feel, in the first 45 minutes to believe that victory is possible. Argentina perhaps slowing their tempo a little too much as the half developed. Starting quickly enough here, and Giusti rather belatedly flagged offside, almost on appeal from Belgium. And there was a bit of slackness, as though the bodies were back on the pitch for the Belgian defenders, but their minds were still in the dressing room. But from the Belgian point of view, with just one or two alarms, their policy of stopping Argentina has been reasonably successful. It's what they do to try and win it in the second half now that will be interesting to see as to when they believe it might be time to offer more ambition. Well, there might be a chance to find something here from a huge throw by Jerez. Second ball put back in by Schifo. Brun finding Batista the barrier. Maradona. Valdano. Batista. Now Ruggeri getting it forward to Maradona. Covered though by Vervoort. And Belgium again just happy to work the ball out as slowly as the referee will allow them. And Argentina will allow them. It's not perhaps a philosophy that's going to entertain too many here, but it might be a winning philosophy for them to frustrate the favourites. Perez. Well, Argentina are going to try and win the ball in Belgian territory. That's a good policy, I'm sure. But it ends with Burruchaga being offside. Antonio Ramirez Marquez, who has not had a particularly tricky or trying time so far. And as the game gets off to a slow start to the second half, the crowd quickening their own pace with the wave. Maybe that will transmit itself onto the pitch. It's certainly produced an upturn in the volume. Quick free kick, Burruchaga. There haven't been too many shots for goalkeepers to deal with, either Baf or Pumpido, but there was one there that flew, fortunately for Belgium, straight at their goalkeeper. Grun. Here's Ronca. Oh, Grun able to turn unchallenged, really. What, 30 yards from goal. Kellermans is onside. Blocked by Giusti. Squeezing it back to Vercautren. Valdano comes back to get a tackle in. Now Valdano. Maradona ahead of him. Burruchaga centre field. Maradona on the ball. Roncan with the tackle. And holding off Giusti as well. Vercautren. Here's Kerlemans. Klaassen darting ahead and doing well with his movement, getting in behind Argentina here. Danny Veit was in the centre. Argentina concede the corner. He's an archetypal Argentinian defender, Oscar Ruggieri. Very athletic, quite prepared to be rough and tough. That's what's required. Well, just wish perhaps that Belgium would gamble with one or two more players in there from the corner. But the fear factor, particularly about Maradona, still influencing the way they're setting out their stall in the World Cup semi-final. Grun sliding it down the line for Verkouteren. The cross isn't deep enough. Well, maybe there's some room here. Verwoerd trying to block off the left side. Here's Enrique. He's got Burruchaga with him. Verwoerd holds him up. Burruchaga again. For Maradona! Out of very little, Argentina have taken the lead. 6 minutes into the second half. Maradona made his move, and it was like a dagger into the heart of Belgium. A thrust here with the left foot, and it was exquisitely executed. And coming after Belgium had attacked down the left side, and Argentina had overloaded really down the right from the Belgian point of view. And then through the middle was Maradona. Next stop for the ball, the back of the net. And now Belgium do have to come out. Their worst fears have been realised here. You can watch and mark and hound Maradona as much as you like, but here he is in his pomp in 1986, scoring another crucial goal, having seen off England with a mixture of class and controversy. The first goal of a tight semi-final. Is it going to be enough for Argentina to settle it? Belgium now have got more players up for the corner. Desmet. Well, it came very quickly for Klaassen, but it was an opportunity. Worked well by Belgium. Certainly no offside. And no goal. When Nico Klaassen, the player perhaps with the best predatory instincts in the penalty area, was in a position that, well, in domestic football, you'd back him 10 times out of 10 to have scored then. Valdano holds it up and looks for support. Maradona, great movement from Enrique. And Belgium had no answer and were relieved that the shot in the end didn't quite do the proper justice to the approach play, which was top class. They choreographed their movement from midfield so well, Argentina. Valdano, such a willing runner up front. He, of course, started that attack away on the far side, held the ball up for Maradona to arrive. Then Enrique timed his thrust, but didn't quite find the accuracy with the shot. Half an hour to go, unless Belgium can come up with an equaliser, which perhaps Klaassen should have done a minute or two ago. Burruchaga. And again, not quite the spring now in the Belgian step. Maradona with another perceptive pass. Valdano, what's he going to do here one-on-one? Well, he looked to line it up for a Latico-Chea, and suddenly, when you were about to applaud a second goal, Jean-Marie Pfaff took off with a quite tremendous save. to keep Belgium in it. Argentina have a corner, but it's taken a goal to open the game up. Slav comes and catches a ball that just dropped over the head initially of Ruggieri. Well, the extrovert in the Belgian goal will, I'm sure, tell you all about it afterwards, that it was a save worthy of the occasion. Justi got there before Vercauteren, and Vervoort before Maradona. Knocked forward quickly by Baf. Belgium have got to hurry their play now, but in doing so, not get too desperate and just play balls forward that are easy for Argentina to deal with. Kochea, but there's going to be more and more room for Argentina to counter-attack if they so wish. And it's not really in their nature just to kill off the game. Burruchaga still wanting to run in behind Belgium. Valdano will stay well forward. And that's not to mention a certain Diego Armando Maradona. And there's plenty of ambition here. Maradona goes on. And on. And on! Well, if you're going to settle a semi-final, you can't do it any better than that. A goal of the highest order. He just tore them apart. Nothing Belgium could do. 3-4 players around Maradona. He left them in his wake and shot across Baf with a finish to match the darting run. And you're witnessing here a World Cup great scoring a great World Cup goal. Along similar lines to his second against England. England did muster some resolve in the later stages and ran Argentina close then. Whether Belgium can do the same is perhaps open to some doubt. But here's Vercauteren. Well, if they are going to lose, there can be consolation that they've lost to a maestro. The magician has waved the wand again. Now you see him, now you don't. And it's Argentina 2, Belgium 0, Maradona 2, Belgium 0. If Cesar Luis Menotti had been maybe a little more ruthless in his selection, maybe Maradona would have been there as a World Cup winner in 1978. It must have been very difficult for him to take. A teenager though he was, he'd already been a full international at the age of 16, remember, prior to those 78 finals in his own country. But he had to sit and watch and, of course, celebrated with the rest of the nation. But this, here in Mexico, has been his stage, and it looks now as though whatever happens, no one's going to be able to deny him the right to lead Argentina out into a World Cup final. Unless Belgium suddenly come up with some bravado here to change the shape. It's been a little ominous, in truth, from the first whistle. Desmet sent on to try and sort things out when it was 1-0, and it's that much more difficult now. Well, as I said earlier, the truly great players do flourish in the World Cup, and you've witnessed one again today. Counter did keep it in, but only to the benefit of Valdano. Maradona on a hat-trick, but it's not in his nature necessary to look for personal glory. He's got enough of it already. There might be a chance of Valdano here, but Burruchaga couldn't find him with a cross. Schifo. In a way, it's been 5 in midfield for both countries here, but Argentina have turned that into an attacking force with much more facility than Belgium. And Maradona, is it going to be the perfect way to get a hat-trick? Not quite. Well, everyone was leaning forward. There was a suspicion that Valdano was offside, but ruled not to be interfering with play. It was a tricky angle in the end. Tricky for most players, maybe not for Maradona, but it defeated him in the end. Well, that's a somewhat weary layoff by Valdano, but he got a foot back in. Kochea. Keep the ball now, the message for Argentina. Let Belgium do the running, they've got precious little strength left. Batista. Here's Enrique. Room on the right-hand side this time. And again, play on, says the linesman. Burruchaga and Valdano in the middle, Maradona on the edge of the area. Giusti wanting to keep it in. That was to his credit. Maradona helped him out. Little give and go with Burruchaga. Oh, and Gerets, I must say, could have got the ball easily and was more concentrating on the man. Maradona trying, I think, to win a corner then. It rolled harmlessly to Faf. 10 minutes left. South American supremacy here. Gullimans. Belgium, of course, will still have one more game to play. The playoff for third place in Puebla. Demol with a throw. All the evidence again is that if there is going to be another goal, it's going to come from Argentina. And Maradona, oh, here's Valdano! Well, he could have done one or two other things, couldn't he? And now he's pondering on the other possibilities. Sweeping counter-attack, goalkeeper committed. And Maradona deceived him, put it on a plate for Valdano, just keep it down, but he couldn't. Could have taken an extra touch, but he didn't. What I think is Maradona encourages him like a good captain. It is fair to say that it's all rather academic now. But should Belgium come up with something really from the realms of World Cup fantasy and find 2 goals in 8 minutes or so, Valdano will be kicking himself. Gullimans. Well, one thing you can say about De Smet is he's tried to get his shots in. Burruchaga. Belgium attack him en masse, and in moving forward towards the man with the ball actually left room in which Maradona couldn't go into without being offside. Schifo. Well, we all came here wondering whether Belgium would have a battle plan to ensure that there would be an all-European World Cup final a long way from Europe here in Mexico City. They had the plan, but it hasn't been good enough. And I think it would be unfair on the rest of the Argentina side to say that it's simply a case of Maradona being the difference between the two, but it will certainly be perceived around the world as that. Burruchaga. Alaticochea. Ruggieri on the ball, Enrique to the right. Burruchaga through the middle. Well, it could easily have finished here 4 or 5 the way the second half has gone. Of course, the fact that Argentina are getting plenty of space in the closing stages is largely down to the 2 wonderful goals that they have come up with in relatively quick succession in the second half. Two goals in a spell of 12 minutes. Burruchaga is going off. And there's something of a sentimental streak about Carlos Bilardo. He's trying to get all the members of the squad some game time here. And the veteran, 32 years old, Ricardo Bacchini, the midfield general of Independiente, comes on in the closing stages. First capped in 1977. Jerry with the header. De Mol. Favut. De Mol.
Cambio de la selección de Argentina. Sale Jorge Luis Burruchaga con el 7. Entra Bochini con el 9.
Catherine. De Mol. Now Grun. Veit. A shot from Grun. Well, it was a good try. As Belgium are trying to show here that they're not going to go down without a fight. That was arrowing towards the top corner until Pumpido got across, rather like Faf did earlier from Alaticochea, the goalkeeper having to show the range in his reach. As good an effort as Belgium have managed. And now Enrique is hurt. Face. Argentina's fans are calling for the final whistle here so they can start the celebrations. Desmet. It's been a battling performance by Belgium, but there's been a golfing class in the end. Argentina with the outstanding individuals and individual. It will go down as Maradona's semi-final here. 2 stunning goals in 12 minutes at the formative stage of the second half. Pumpido and his defenders kept Belgium out, and Argentina go forward here into the 1986 World Cup final. Their captain has made it all possible. Belgium trying to take the breath away from Argentina by choking the football life out of them, filling back into midfield, funneling back into defensive situations. It worked for 50 minutes or so. And then first of all, Argentina passed the ball through them for Maradona to strike in deadly fashion with the outside of his left foot. And then he ran the ball through them with dribbling skills par excellence. He did it to England, he's done it to Belgium. And now the world awaits to see whether he can do it in the final itself. It's finished here in the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. Argentina 2, Belgium 0.